I'm Sarah Jackson, Abby's mother.
I'm Abby Jackson. I am in remission from stage 3 lymphoma. So it was the weekend after my 16th birthday, actually. And I had been lifting, so like it was just a lot of weight. I was doing pretty good. I'd qualified for state. And then my ribs started hurting, and I kind of thought I had a sprained rib at first. And so I just asked my mom, oh, can we just go to the doctor, just check it out? And so we did that following Monday. And we went in for the x-ray, and you know, I was just like, okay, whatever, it's gonna be not a big deal. And then, what was it? As I was leaving, the radiologist was like, I'm just gonna have to wait here for a minute. Just hold on. I was like, okay, maybe they're just messing something up. And then he was like, okay, you can go, have a good day. And so we came home, and then later on, our doctor called, and this might be a lymphoma. So then the next day we went into the same doctor, and I had a CT scan. And then one of my mom's friends actually knew an oncologist at Children's, and so she was contacted, and then I went in that Wednesday to the ER then I was admitted to the hospital because they were like, yep, it's cancer. And we're doing a biopsy on Friday, and it all just kind of spiraled from there.
Due to the size of the mass, they didn't want to wait to start chemo, so 2 weeks later, she was in for her bone marrow biopsy, port placement, and as soon as she came out of recovery from that surgery, they started the chemo then.
And that was a crazy ride. I was there for a couple days. No, because I was super nauseous afterward. So they gave me this anti-nausea medicine, which made me so loopy. I don't remember half of it. I was like hallucinating. I was very combative with my parents because I didn't want any help going to the bathroom because I couldn't stand by myself. So that was just, yeah.
Fun stories we can bring up when you're older. Yeah, it was a wild 5 days. We were very fortunate she came through that. So they wanted to do 6 rounds of chemo, that being the first. So every 3 weeks, we were able to do that. And when they first diagnosed it, the doctor let us know that there was a trial available for a drug. So she was eligible for that, which allowed her to do only 1 day of inpatient infusion, and then the other remaining 5 days at home for chemo. So we felt very fortunate that we didn't have to be in the hospital for 5 days getting her infusions.
And so after my second round of chemo, I had an x-ray and a PET scan. And then the doctor called, like, we were gonna wait till Monday, but he called right after. He was like, I need to talk to you guys. This tumor shrank 88% since our first round. And so that was super exciting because they weren't expecting any shrinkage. So that was a cool day.
And then the rest of so we were on this regimen of 2 rounds of chemo and then a scan, and then 2 rounds of chemo and then a scan, and they just progressively kept getting more and more reduction in the tumor. And so by our last round, there was no viable cancer cells, and so then by July, the end of July, she was able to get her port out. And a few days after she had her port out, she was in a powerlifting competition. So we're very, very fortunate that she was able to keep up her strength throughout most of it.
My friends were really supportive. A couple of my powerlifting girls, they surprised me here at my house when I came home from the hospital the first time.
We love you, Abby!
I had a group of my friends watch me shave my head the first time. They were great. They've always been there, so I've had a good support group.
I think the hardest part was when we were in the hospital after her first surgery and her first round of chemo. And because it happened so quick, we hadn't even told my family or her siblings what was actually going on. And when she was in the ER that first time, our in-laws, we let them know, and then they brought the girls down from school. And that's kind of when it hit of telling girls, you know, your sister has cancer, and realizing how much time we were going to be spread away from them. But our family, my in-laws were pivotal. I'm sorry, making you cry. Our in-laws were pivotal. They stepped up and just were mom and dad when we couldn't be. And the girls, they're so resilient. The doctors tell you that it's just as important to pay attention to the siblings, because they kind of fall through the cracks in this, which is hard. As a mom, you feel that guilt that you're not giving them that, but they all just had such great attitudes about it and were so caring and compassionate, and we didn't even have to ask them to kind of rearrange their lives. They just did it. Yeah.
Okay. Show us those muscles.
Ready?
3, 2,
And
1.
Yay! Oh my goodness.